Okay guys, hi! Not great lighting today. I have to use some natural lighting because my ring light, I forgot to charge it. So anyway, yesterday I asked you guys to DM me questions that you wanted to know. Some of them were beauty related, some of them weren't, and I will answer all of them. So let me look at what they were. As some of you know, I'm open like a book. So I will answer even the most private questions as I promised. And you guys can get to know me. So I was asked what my favorite anti-aging beauty product is. My favorite anti-aging beauty product is basically any product that has a vitamin C, high vitamin C content in it. And then I follow up with a retinol. The vitamin C I have read helps the retinol work better. So normally it'll be one product right before the second product. The one I'm using right now is Radha Beauty off of Amazon for the vitamin C serum as well as the retinol cream. And but I would say actually overall, in true honesty, the number one thing that has made me feel better about aging and helped bring back some volume and elasticity in my skin would be two things. One is Botox and one is filler. So some people get really squeamish when Botox or filler is mentioned. I did a lot of research on it. I went to a really good plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills to make sure that it was applied. A lot of things can go wrong with it, is what I'm trying to say. So basically, I have had Botox in the top of my forehead, and I think that's it. And so I can still make faces. I don't get a lot, but I do get some. You're supposed to get it every 4 to 6 months. I get it once a year. It does cost a lot, and as well, I don't feel like I have enough wrinkles to need it, really. I just use it as a preventative. So that is the best anti-aging preventative that I can tell you about. And then as well, every year past, I think 30 years old or 31 or 32, you lose 1% of your collagen in your face. And because of that, I did get filler in my cheeks. A lot of people say that I have a deep cheekbone, like a high cheekbone. I always did, but I did notice that as I started to get older, it started to kind of just look all straight. So I did put filler here, and I have done filler in my lips, just a little bit. So with both the Botox and the filler, the trick is not to go overboard. And the way not to go overboard is to pick a doctor or a surgeon who is going to be honest with you about realistic results, and do your research and look up what that surgeon has done in the past. Okay, next question. Okay, my favorite person. My favorite person is, I have two favorite people, and I don't know which one is more favorite, most favorite. I would say, first of all, my grandma. My grandma was like a mother to me. She lives in Cape Cod. She's always lived, well, she's most of the time lived in Cape Cod, and I just always have fond memories of spending summers in Cape Cod at the Cape House. And my grandma's just this beautiful, strong woman, and she's really helped me be who I am today. She's also someone you can tell anything to, and she doesn't judge, she doesn't gossip, and we could all learn a thing or two from my grandma. The second person who is pretty neck and neck with my grandma is her son, my dad. I almost said my mom. My dad single-handedly brought me up, and as well, he had to deal with all the trials and tribulations of a teenage girl coming of age. So this is a deep question, and I have been thinking all morning whether or not I should answer this. But you know what? The only person who knows about this is probably my dad and my boyfriend right now. So I guess I will. It was many, many years ago. It was over 15 years ago, so I'll just say. My worst high school memory, I was accepted into art school on a scholarship, which was very important to my family because we didn't have the money for me to go to art school on my own. So I got a scholarship. I was very happy. I auditioned for, I think, 3 or 4 departments, and I got into like 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4 or something. So then I also had the option to choose what I wanted to major in, because I was accepted for almost everything I went for. So I decided to major in creative writing, and I thought that art school was going to be this place where kids who didn't fit in high school would more fit in at the art school. But I was super wrong, and it was really competitive and really cutthroat, and the bullying that I had dealt with in my regular school was just not even close to the bullying that I faced at art school. So I felt like art school was going to be a place where I could just get weird, and I did. And I did create a lot of great art, and I studied under amazing people, and I learned so much. But I did feel really bullied and singled out as well, even in art school. So I did end up dropping out of art school and losing all my credits 2 months before I graduated. So, if I could tell myself looking back about how to deal with that situation now, is just that a lot of gifted people are bullied, and the way to handle it isn't to run away, even though it feels like that's your only option. My bullying wasn't physical. If it's physical, I totally still would say yes, run away. But it wasn't physical. It was more, psychological. It was more like girls versus girls type thing. And if I could go back in time, I would have stayed in school and just really tried to work through it. But at the time, I just was so embarrassed to go to school and really just couldn't handle facing those people every day, especially artistically and vulnerably. I felt like I was naked already, showcasing my art, and then as well to feel like people were picking me apart. So that is my worst high school memory. Here's a kind of boring answer for a so-so question. What is my favorite color? Well, as you can tell, my favorite color is black and gray. So black and gray are probably my favorite colors. I really like white. I understand that those aren't really colors, but you know what I mean. So if you want to nitpick that, go ahead. Actual color-wise, a color I like to look at that's calming for me, I guess, would be a blue. But as far as wearing this color, I really mostly only wear black, gray, and white. I would say maybe pink. Pink? Is glitter color? So do you have any piercings, and did they hurt? As you can see I have at least one. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 piercings. Okay, here's something crazy. None of my piercings hurt. None of them. I want to make sure you got that. Except for this one. And this one I've had done 3 times. We'll get into why I've had it done more than once in a second with another question that was asked. But this is so painful, and most of the people I talk to who had it beforehand, or even who have it now as I have it, like, yeah, didn't it hurt so bad? No. I don't know. It hurt me super, super bad. One of the worst pains I've ever felt in my life. Which leads me into this question. Have you ever had plastic surgery, and what do you think about plastic surgery? What I think about plastic surgery is it's that person's choice. I don't think it's not being yourself or anything like that. I think plastic surgery can really be healing in the way that it can help you feel like more of yourself, actually, and what you feel on the inside you can display on the outside. It can really change people's lives by making them more confident. Plastic surgery can also go super wrong, so you have to be careful, but you can only be so careful. Sometimes you don't have control over what happens regarding plastic surgery. So my personal story is that I did get a rhinoplasty a few years back. Basically, I just wanted to slim down. There was a bump here, and I would see it in my peripheral, and it would bother me. So I had them shave down the bump, and what happened was I got a nasal collapse right here. So because they shaved that down, this part is weaker. Because my nostrils aren't really holding themselves open enough to fully breathe through, I do a lot of mouth breathing now. It's annoying when I sleep. It's annoying if I try to work out. It's annoying because my voice is more nasally now. It's annoying because I don't really sing anymore. Of course, that will affect your singing voice. So there isn't really a fix for this, but I am talking to specialists at the moment. But it's, it's not first priority for me. I've gotten kind of used to the not being able to breathe like I used to. I sleep with nasal vents in that allow me to sleep. Sometimes I'll use a breathe right strip. But it does take getting used to, but once you're used to it, you're kind of like, oh, I'll deal with it later, because honestly, it's like $20,000 to fix. And that's at the lowest price, where you're not sure if they're going to be able to even fix it to the best of the ability. Everything they have to fix it is very experimental, but that is something that does often happen and isn't often talked about. So if I could go back in time, I do not regret my nose job. I'm happy with the way it looks, but if I could go back in time, I would just leave it alone. So I would say really think about whether you'd be okay with not breathing the same again if you're thinking about getting a nose job, or actually any type of plastic surgery, because there will be pros and cons. Okay, so what is your worst fear or phobia? My worst fear or phobia was getting a nose job and then not being able to breathe. Just kidding. That would be terrible. What is my worst fear? Well, my worst phobia is this makes no sense, because I've been under the knife, I've had injections, I've had tattoos, I have piercings, and I am so scared of getting blood drawn. I am so scared of getting blood drawn that I don't do things that my doctor suggests for my health. The last time I got blood drawn was, you have to do a overall health check before you get surgery. So before I went in for surgery, I think it was 2016, I had to get blood drawn. And I thought I was going to pass out. I thought I was going to freak out. I just wanted to cut my arm off so she could just do it somewhere away from me. I could feel my life force draining from my body. Do you see how uncomfortable I'm getting right now? Just thinking about it. It really bothers me. I won't sleep for days beforehand if I know what's happening. I'll take an anti-anxiety medication before I go in. Oh, it's just so terrible. Anyone who's ever had to draw blood for me, I'm so sorry. I do normally scream, and I tell them I'm going to scream at them beforehand, but it doesn't make it any less embarrassing. So here's another question. What is my favorite soap for sensitive skin? My favorite soap for sensitive skin, I was using the Dove, because it's like a sensitive skin lotion soap for your body. Here's the problem with that. I was breaking out. I was getting it was too moisturizing. It wasn't cleaning enough. Do you know what I mean? So I found that to be kind of gross. It was like chunky lotion in a soap. And I understand the idea, but I do still want to get that almost squeaky clean. So I love and always come back to spending the extra money on getting the Dr. Bronner's, I think it's called, from Trader Joe's. Beware of the peppermint, because if you get that on your lady parts or your male parts, or in your eyes, it will sting so bad. It's not this nice cooling sensation. It hurts. So I have gone to either lavender or rose, and I'm on the rose now, and I'm really loving it. But the lavender is great too. Oh, and last question, what is my favorite hair product? I thought about this for a long time, and I really have so many hair products that I love. As you can tell, I didn't use any of them today. I haven't done my hair yet, but I will say after that smoothing treatment, it's really doing great. It's not frizzy. It's not snarly anymore. I can run my fingers through it. So I will say that has really helped. I haven't even brushed it yet, and it's still pretty smooth. That is one of my favorite products, is the Smooth Forever Extreme Smoothing Treatment off of Amazon. But I will say, as an everyday product, my favorite thing would probably be the BioSilk Serum. The BioSoak serum I use right when I get out of the shower. I emulsify it in my hands, and I use it probably just from here down where that old blonde is fading out. This is all my natural color, and it really helps to seal the hair. Then I can use heat on it, I can blow dry it, I can flat iron it, I can curl it. I can do none of those things, but when it rains, or it keeps it moisturized from the inside, and it's just kind of protecting it. And I know that a lot of people don't like silicones. If they don't work for your hair, don't use them, but give it a try before you knock it, because I love it. I did try the argan oil, the coconut oil, all of those routes, and those did not work for my hair. So, and Moroccan oil. The Moroccan oil kind of works a little bit better than the other oils, but all in all, they don't even come close to the silicone. So there's an option for you. Everything BioSoak does is amazing. It's really worked well for my hair in general. I have very thin, just thin hair. So thanks for the questions, guys. Coming up is going to be a tutorial coming out soon of all my favorite beauty bloggers on YouTube that you need to subscribe to and watch. So thank you so much for watching, and I would ask you guys to please follow Tutorials for Real Girls on Instagram. It has an underscore between each word. Hopefully I can get a link in here somewhere if I figure out how to do that. Help me. As well, you can follow Tutorials for Real Girls on Facebook, and most importantly, Tutorials for Real Girls on YouTube. Let's get this shit off my fucking face.